You know, some stories, they just stick with you. These tales passed down, maybe whispered generation after generation.
And they often hold these surprisingly deep truths about, well, us, about connection, human nature.
Exactly. And today we're diving into one just like that. It's a lesser known Iranian folktale from the oral tradition called The Spirit of the Pomegranate Tree. Really quite touching.
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Rooted in local legends, village beliefs,
Hmm.
those often have the richest details.
They really do. So, our mission today basically is to unpack this beautiful story. We want to look at the layers of meaning, the characters, the emotions.
Focusing on Anar Khatoon, you mentioned,
Oh,
the benevolent figure.
right, the benevolent Anar Khatoon. We'll explore what her story tells us about things like unconditional love, serving a community, jealousy too, and how a selfless spirit can endure.
Sounds great. And we're using excerpts from the tale itself.
Yes, drawing directly from the story, getting into the details, the imagery. So yeah, let's get into it. It's a tale that really makes you think about what it means to truly give of yourself.
Always interesting how these ancient Persian stories manage to capture universal themes in such specific, vivid settings.
Absolutely. So let's set the scene. Picture this. A lush village, sort of tucked away in the Zagros Mountains, ancient Persia.
You can almost smell the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flowers, maybe that hint of ripe pomegranates the story mentions.
Exactly. A gentle breeze, life moving at a slower pace. And in this village lived Anar Khatoon. The narrator calls her a sun, warming the hearts of all.
What a description. Not powerful or wealthy then.
No, not at all. Just a middle-aged woman, kind eyes, hands always busy weaving, baking bread for those who needed it, using local herbs to heal the sick. Little things that felt like, well, small miracles to the villagers.
And that figure, the benevolent healer, it's such a potent archetype in folklore, isn't it? Communities really relied on people like her.
They did. She wasn't just doing good deeds. She represented something more fundamental, like security, hope.
Right. She was the good of the village in a way. The anchor for their social fabric, as you said. It's about the stability she embodies.
That's a great way to put it. Her quiet service built these deep bonds. Now, there's also Hassan, a young man.
Ah, the silent admirer.
Yes, watching her from afar, apparently dreaming of marriage. But here's a crucial detail, a secret Anar Khatoon held.
Okay.
She'd taken a vow, celibacy, a lifelong commitment she made as a tribute to her late mother.
Wow, okay. That adds a whole other layer. Not indifference then, but something deeper driving her choices.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, perhaps?
Definitely foreshadowing. And then tragedy strikes. One day she's out watering the pomegranate tree one she'd planted herself, and she just collapses, dies.
Oh, just like that. While tending the tree she loved.
Yeah, the village mourned deeply, of course, a huge loss. But as you can guess, the story doesn't end there. It's what happens after her burial that takes this tale somewhere else entirely.
Right. This is often where folktales pivot, from the earthly to something more transcendent.
Exactly, the connection between her life and something lasting.
And the pomegranate tree itself is significant, isn't it? Especially in Persian culture. It's not just any tree.
You picked up on that. Tell us more. What does the pomegranate symbolize there?
Well, it's huge. It often stands for life, fertility, abundance, sometimes even rebirth or the eternal soul. So for her spirit to connect with that specific tree that's loaded with cultural meaning, it suggests continuity, vitality.
That makes perfect sense. Because that very night, the night after she died, the tree she'd cared for started to glow, a radiant sort of otherworldly light.
Wow.
And a voice, soft, gentle, unmistakably hers, whispered from the branches, "I am still here."
Incredible. So her essence transfers to the tree.
It seems so. And the tree itself changes. It starts blooming even in winter, defying the seasons. Its fruit becomes, well, miraculous, healing wonders.
Real tangible effects then, not just a feeling.
Oh, yes. The story gives concrete examples. There's a woman, gravely ill. She eats one pomegranate from the tree and she recovers completely.
Amazing.
And a child gets lost out in the wilds, frightened. But they find their way back, guided by Anar Khatoon's gentle voice coming from the tree.
So she's still actively caring for them even after death, through nature.
Actively. And Hassan, the young man who loved her, he never stopped. He'd go sit under the tree every night, talk to her just as if she could hear her.
And that's devotion, keeping that connection alive.
It really is. There's this line in the narration that just captures it. With every pomegranate, Anar Khatoon soothed a heart. Think about the impact of such ongoing, selfless generosity.
It's profound. For a community to experience that kind of sustained care, almost magical care, from someone who's passed, It builds this incredible sense of continuity, doesn't it? Protection, maybe?
Yeah, like she's still fundamentally part of their daily lives.
Exactly. It's like her love transformed from something personal
Yeah.
into this almost systemic support for the whole village. It
No.
normalizes the extreme.
That pure goodness institutionalized in this tree, it can also create tension, right? What happens when it meets something darker?
Ah, yes. The inevitable counterpoint. Because pure goodness, unfortunately, isn't always met with pure gratitude. Sometimes that very benevolence can highlight what others feel they lack.
And that, sadly, is where the shadow falls on the story. Resentment starts to grow. We meet Murad, a wealthy merchant.
Let me guess, he doesn't like the magic tree.
He wants it, or rather, he covets the tree's land. He sees the miracles, the comfort it brings, and thinks, this magic should be mine.
Ah, the classic motive, greed, jealousy. It's a powerful force in these kinds of tales, often set against benevolence.
It really is. Murad embodies that shift, doesn't he? From thinking about the community's well-being to just personal gain.
Exactly. He wants to control it, possess the magic, turn something sacred into a commodity. It shows how fragile goodness can be when faced with that kind of self-interest.
And he wasn't the only one feeling resentful. Others joined him. Maybe they felt overlooked. Maybe they just couldn't grasp her continued influence. Whatever the reason, this opposition grew.
Until they decide to do something drastic.
They decide to cut down the tree. Hassan, still devoted, finds out. He tries desperately to stop them. He stands in front of the tree pleading, shouting, "This is Anar Khatoon's spirit, don't destroy her."
But against a mob mentality.
His words are lost. Murad steps forward, axe in hand, driven by that greed. He swings it hard, right at the roots.
The climactic moment.
It is. And as the axe hits, something dramatic happens. A branch snaps high above. A single pomegranate falls to the ground. And that same faint, ethereal voice whispers, just one thing.
What?
Hassan, forgive me.
Forgive me. Wow. That's unexpected. Not anger, but sorrow, regret.
It seems so. It hints that her connection, her being in the tree, wasn't without cost or pain for her, perhaps, and it foreshadows the next revelation.
Right, and the tree itself.
The damage is done. It begins to wither, slowly dying, and as it does, this wave of guilt just washes over the villagers who stood by or helped. They realize what they've destroyed.
The living embodiment of the kindness that sustained them. Heartbreak.
Truly. And Hassan, heartbroken himself, finally understands the full weight of that whisper, forgive me. He discovers the real secret behind her vow.
There was more to it than just honoring her mother.
Much more. Her celibacy, refusing marriage. It wasn't about rejecting love or companionship.
Then what was it about? This is fascinating.
It was the condition, the price maybe, the way she could remain as a spirit in the tree after death. It was a deliberate choice, a pact she made to ensure she could continue serving the village forever.
Wait, so she consciously chose not to have a conventional life, a family, personal love?
Exactly. So she could become this eternal guardian. She gave up her human life to become the spirit in the tree.
That's an incredible sacrifice. It elevates her beyond just kindness. It's radical self-transcendence for the community's sake, redefining selfless giving.
It really is. The narrator puts it beautifully. Her love for the people made her life eternal. Even though the tree itself withered, it didn't just die and get forgotten.
It became a memorial.
A solemn one. It stood there dry and brittle, but people remembered. Every year, the villagers started gathering beneath it, lighting candles. A quiet ritual of regret, maybe, but also honor.
Acknowledging her impact, her lasting presence.
Yes. And Hassan. He lived to be an old man, and every single year he planted a new pomegranate sapling near the old tree.
Keeping the symbol alive.
Exactly. A symbolic act of hope, of remembrance. He always maintained, she's still with us in the breeze.
And that's how a legacy truly lives on, isn't it? Beyond the physical. Through memory, through ritual, through these symbolic acts.
It seems so. The rituals transform the withered tree from just a dead thing into a living memory, an active reminder.
Right. They affirm her values, selflessness, kindness, and make her part of the community's ongoing identity. Not as a ghost, but as a guiding principle. And a hard lesson about the cost of greed, too.
A very hard lesson. And the story closes right there, bringing it full circle. Anar Khatoon departed, but her love remained.
Wow. What a powerful narrative.
It really is. So, stepping back from the story itself, what does this ancient tale, the spirit of the pomegranate tree, offer us, today?
Well, it certainly challenges us to think about some big things.
Yeah.
Human choices, our impact.
Definitely. It's not a simple good versus evil story. It digs into the complexity of giving, the insidious nature of jealousy and how devotion can build something truly lasting.
Something eternal, in a sense.
Yeah. So thinking about Anar Khatoon's sacrifice, not just kindness, but that transformation, that vow,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, what does it really mean in our own lives to give selflessly? Maybe not that extreme, but foregoing personal desires for others.
That's a deep question. And on the flip side, Murad's actions. How do we even recognize, let alone navigate, those feelings of jealousy or resentment when we see someone else's gifts or influence? Especially if that influence is positive for the common good.
That's a tough one, too. And maybe one last thought to leave with everyone. If you could offer something, tangible or not, to honor Anar Khatoon's memory based on this story, what would it be?
What would that gift signify about her spirit, about the lessons we've sort of unpacked here today?
Exactly. Something to really mull over.